Toddler service for St Mary's Church, Jersey in the Channel Islands, and it's the service for Thursday the 22nd of July 2021. But we're not back in church, I'm afraid. We're still in my kitchen, but we're going to have a story to listen to, some songs to sing along to, so I hope you'll enjoy it and join in. So we're going to start with a song to join in with. It's got actions. It's If I Go Climbing. So the actions that we start with are climbing.
Let's go climbing up a huge mountain.
If I go climbing, 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 if I go climbing, God is there. If I go climbing on the highest mountain, God is there, 'cause He is everywhere.
Now, let's get into our boats.
Rowing in a boat.
If I go rowing, 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 if I go rowing, God is there. If I go rowing on the widest river, God is there, 'cause He is everywhere.
Let's go swimming right to the bottom
Go
of the
swimming
ocean.
in the ocean.
If I go swimming, 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 if I go swimming, God is there. If I go swimming to the bottom of the ocean, God is there, 'cause He is everywhere.
Can you get into your car? Put on your
Drive a
seatbelt,
car.
ready to go for a
Seatbelt
drive.
on.
If I go driving, 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 if I go driving, God is there. If I go driving far away, God is there, 'cause He is everywhere.
Now we're going flying on an aeroplane.
Fly aeroplane.
If I go flying, 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 if I go flying, God is there. If I go flying on the biggest airplane, God is there, 'cause He is everywhere.
Can you curl up on the floor?
Gonna go to sleep
Go to sleep.
down on the floor.
If I go sleeping, 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 if I go sleeping, God is there. If I go sleeping on the darkest night, God is there, 'cause He is everywhere.
And I'm going to sing the rhyme about two little eyes. You can join in. Two little eyes to look to God, two little ears to hear His word, two little feet to walk in His ways, two little lips to sing His praise, two little hands to do His will, and one little heart to love Him still. Now there's another song to sing along to. This is Jesus is my best friend. And the actions start off like this. Jesus is my best friend, my best friend, my best friend. Jesus is my best friend. He's always there for me. Jesus is my best friend, my best friend, my best friend. Jesus is my best get up because we're going to join together and sing the Dinosaur Song. So there's going to be a lot of stomping and roaring like dinosaurs. When we sing the Dinosaur Song. Roar, roar, roar. Roar, roar, roar. Stomp, stomp. Roar, roar, roar. Roar, roar, roar. Many years ago, walking on the earth were supermassive animals with teeth and claws and fur. And some could swim and fly and crawl, but way more radical is that God who made them innocent heart and greater than them all. God is bigger than a dinosaur, stronger than a dinosaur, stronger than a dinosaur. Roar, roar, roar. God is older than a dinosaur, mighty than a dinosaur, more awesome than a dinosaur. Roar, roar, roar. Roar, roar, stomp, stomp. Roar, roar. Tyrannosaurus Rex, king above the rest. And how did Stegosaurus bark? What did cats lay eggs? Only God could know it all. But way more radical is that he could bring them back to life. Wouldn't that be cool? Wouldn't it? God is bigger than a dinosaur, taller than a dinosaur, stronger than a dinosaur. Roar, roar, roar. God is older than a dinosaur, mighty than a dinosaur, more awesome than a dinosaur. Roar, roar, roar. The fossil is not extinct, he's with us here and now, and forever he'll be alive. Let's roar his praises now. Roar, roar, roar. Bigger than a dinosaur, bigger than a dinosaur, stronger than a dinosaur. Roar, roar, roar. He's older than a dinosaur, mighty than a dinosaur, more awesome than a dinosaur. Roar, roar, roar. Roar, roar. Roar, roar, roar. Stomp, stomp. Roar, 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 roar. Dinosaurs go off into the distance. Now I'm going to sing a song about Mr. Noah. Mr. Noah, who built an ark, big boat to take the animals in, just as God told him to do, to keep them safe and his family safe before the rain came and the floods. Mr. Noah built an ark, the people thought it such a lark. Mr. Noah pleaded so, but into the ark they would not go. Down came the rain in torrents, splish splash. Down came the rain in torrents, splish splash. Down came the rain in torrents, and all the 8 were saved. The animals went in 2 by 2, the big giraffe and the kangaroo. All were safely stowed away until that great and terrible day, when down came the rain in torrents, splish splash. Down came the rain in torrents, splish splash. Down came the rain in torrents, and all the 8 were saved. So whenever you see a rainbow, whenever you see a rainbow, whenever you see a rainbow, remember God is love. Now you're going to get up again because we've got another song to sing along to, and this is the Wiggle Wiggle song. We're going to get lots and lots of energy by wiggle, wiggle, wiggling, and when the music tells us we freeze. And wiggle, 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 wiggle again. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Wiggle, 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 freeze. Wiggle, 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 freeze. I said I got to get the wiggles out of me. I'm gonna shake my hands, I'm gonna shake my feet, I'm gonna shake my head, I'm gonna move to the beat. Cause I got to get the wiggles out of me. I said I got to get the wiggles out of me. Wiggle, 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 freeze. Wiggle, 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 freeze. I said I got to get the wiggles out of me. Skilly scat, skilly do. I got to get those wiggles out of me. I wanna hear the story. It's gonna be fun. Hearing about Jesus is for everyone. So I got to get those wiggles out of me. Wiggle, 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 freeze. Wiggle, 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 freeze. I said I got to get those wiggles out of me. I said I got to get those wiggles out of me. I said I got to get those wiggles out of me. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Take it down. Now I've got 2 books. I'm going to read a prayer out of each book. Today's story is about friends and about being kind and sharing. And this prayer says, Dear Jesus, it feels good to make other people happy. Thank you for my friends. Thank you for teaching me that it's better to give someone something than to receive something from them. And we say, Amen. And there's another prayer about friends. It says, Dear God, let us build our friendships carefully. If we should fall out and quarrel and argue, please help us to make friends again. Let us build our friendships up again carefully. Dear God, thank you for our friends. And we say, Amen. Now before the story, we always say a little rhyme to remind us that the stories are in the Bible, in God's book, the Bible. Now is the time to listen. Now is the time to see. Open God's book to hear what He has to tell me. And today's story is about something that happened to Jesus. Something that happened when Jesus was alive. So Jesus was coming up to the town of Jericho. This is the town of Jericho. He was coming visiting. And in the town of Jericho was a man who had a very big house. There's the man's house. The man's name was Zacchaeus. He had a big house in the middle of the town and a big area with gardens and trees. A lovely house and gardens in the city of Jericho. And this man's name was Zacchaeus, and we know his job. His job was to be a tax collector. But oh dear, Zacchaeus had become a very rich man because he wasn't very honest with the people in the town of Jericho. His job was to collect money for the Romans, the governing people. But he would say to people in the town, "You owe 3 coins to the Romans." But it wasn't really 3 coins, it was 2 coins for the Romans, and he'd take 1 coin for himself. So every time he took taxes from somebody, there was a bit of money for Zacchaeus. And I'm afraid the people in the town knew what he was doing, but they couldn't do anything about it. And that's how Zacchaeus became a rich man. And we know something else about Zacchaeus. He wasn't very tall. It tells us in the Bible. So one day Zacchaeus was in his house. And he was looking out of the window. There he is, looking out of the window, looking over the tree out of the window. And he noticed that there were a lot of people down in the street. And Zacchaeus thought, I wonder what all those people are doing down in the street. And then he heard them talking. And they were saying, Jesus is coming. Jesus is coming. Look, this lady's looking this way. I think Jesus was coming this way. Zacchaeus thought, I'd love to see Jesus. I want to see this man that everybody talks about. He's very good and he does wonderful things. I really want to see Jesus. So Zacchaeus came down out of his house and down through the garden and through the garden gate, and he stood at the back of the crowd. But do you remember, it says in the Bible, Zacchaeus was very, very short, and he couldn't see. The other people in front of him were much, much taller, and Zacchaeus couldn't see. And he thought, I'm never going to see Jesus when he comes this way because I'm too short. And then he had a very good idea. He thought, I know what I'll do. I'll climb up my sycamore tree. And that's just what he did. He went back into the garden and he climbed up the tree and he held on tight. And then he could see down into the street and he thought, this is very good. People won't see me because of the leaves of the tree, but I shall see Jesus when he comes. And sure enough, Jesus came along. And Jesus came walking and he went the other side of the crowd and he got to just where Zacchaeus was, but he didn't keep going, he stopped. And Jesus looked up into the tree. And do you know what he said? He said, Zacchaeus, I want you to come down. I want you to come down because I want to come to your house for a meal today. Zacchaeus was so excited. Jesus was asking him to come down and then he would go to Zacchaeus' house and have a meal. Zacchaeus was very excited. He came down from the tree and he said, Jesus, Jesus, come this way. Come into my house. Jesus followed him. And they went into Zacchaeus' house and they had a lovely meal. Zacchaeus got his servants to put lots of lovely food out. And he got his family and he contacted some friends and he had a lovely meal. And then do you know what Zacchaeus said to Jesus? Jesus, I want to be your friend. You've come to my house. I know I've done lots of bad things. I've been taking money from the people in the town. But I want to become your friend and live like you. And do you know what I'm going to do? Anybody that I've taken money from, I'm going to give 4 times as much back. And I'm very wealthy and I'm going to give half of all my money to the poor people of the town. Jesus was very, very pleased, and he said, "This house is wonderful. I'm so pleased. Good things have come to this house, and this man is going to be a friend of mine, and that I'm very, very pleased about that." And that's the story about Zacchaeus and how he met Jesus, and Jesus came to his house for a meal, and Zacchaeus decided he was going to be a different person. Now he was going to be a friend of Jesus's. And that's today's story. And we quite often sing the song about Zacchaeus, don't we? So it would be good to sing that now. Zacchaeus was a very little man, and a very little man was he. He climbed up into a sycamore tree, 'cause Lord Jesus he wanted to see. And when Lord Jesus walked that way, he looked into the tree, and he said, "Zacchaeus, will you please come down? 'Cause I'm coming to your house for tea. Yes, I'm coming to your house for tea." So that's the song that we sing about Zacchaeus, and it reminds us of the story we had today. And now we're going to sing the last song, "What Noise Shall We Make?" And you can find something to rattle and bang, and you can dance around the room. I've got a bottle with some rice in, but you could shake and rattle something.
What noise shall we make to say that God is great? What noise shall we make unto the Lord? Let's make a loud noise to say that God is great. Let's make a loud noise unto the Lord. Here is my loud noise. Here is my loud noise. Here is my loud noise unto the Lord. What noise shall we make to say that God is great? What noise shall we make unto the Lord? Let's make a quiet noise to say that God is great. Let's make a quiet noise unto the Lord. Here is my quiet noise. Here is my quiet noise. Here is my quiet noise unto the Lord. What noise shall we make to say that God is great? What noise shall we make unto the Lord? Let's make a fast noise to say that God is great. Let's make a fast noise unto the Lord. Here is my fast noise. Here is my fast noise. Here is my fast noise unto the Lord. What noise shall we make to say that God is great? What noise shall we make unto the Lord? Let's make a slow noise to say that God is great. Let's make a slow noise unto the Lord. Here is my slow noise. Here is my slow noise. Here is my slow noise unto the Lord. Dance down the room, make lots of noise. That's the end of this week's service from St Mary's Church in Jersey in the Channel Islands. There'll be another one next week, more singing and another story. Bye-bye.